This year, 49 AD, Emperor Claudius selects a new wife. The First Apostolic Council in Jerusalem convenes, and the veteran general YUAN is betrayed in China. Welcome to the Yearly Histories, where we will highlight the major events that take place in the Common Era, year by year. Last year, we saw the death of Empress Valeria Messalina after her affair was exposed. Paul the Apostle intervening in sectarian disputes in Antioch, and the Xiongnu being divided into a northern and southern faction. Starting off with the Roman activities in Britannia. Last year, we saw the Roman governor of Britannia, Publius Astoria Scapula, campaigning against Briton rebels and remaining undefeated as the new governor. But this year, he is taking stock and consolidating the resounding Roman gains made thus far in Britannia. He moves to establish a colonia or colony of veterans at Camulodunum to secure the newly conquered territory and to act as a defense against rebellion and a means of implementing Roman law. In the western part of the island, Scapula orders a camp to be established on the border with the Silures tribe to check their power and ensure that there is a legion ready to take action against any aggressive behavior. Back in Rome, Claudius is presented with 3 candidates to be his next wife. He ends up selecting his niece, Agrippina the Younger, who stands out because of her feminine nature. He gets senatorial approval and the marriage takes place. It is worth noting that Agrippina already has a young son with Gnaeus Domitius Ahenobarbus, her late husband who died in 41 AD. That son's name is Lucius Domitius Ahenobarbus, and he is currently 11 years old. You could get the impression that there is something quite off about him, but it also could be nothing. Claudius finds a top-of-the-line tutor for Lucius's education in one exiled Stoic philosopher who has been living on the island of Corsica since Valeria Messalina, the then wife of Claudius, had him sent there. That man is Seneca the Younger, and he looks to be the perfect match to help the young boy become a proper Roman. Etruria is a mountainous region inhabited by skilled warrior tribes that came under intermittent Hellenistic and Herodian control before being partially ruled by Herod the Great and his son Philip the Tetrarch, while being under Roman client control as of late. In approximately this year, the Imperator orders Etruria to be annexed into the Roman Empire, and due to it being a smaller and less influential territory, it is absorbed into the existing province of Syria. Also in the same region, where last year we saw the culmination of Paul the Apostle's first missionary journey, which saw him, along with Barnabas, intervening in a dispute between Jewish and non-Jewish Christians in Antioch. The two factions agreed to bring their dispute in front of a council of 12 revered Christian elders in Jerusalem, which takes place this year. After a considerable debate, the council decides to take no formal action. Quote, "That did not mean it made no decision. However, for by electing not to interfere in the affairs of the Antioch church, the 12 in effect ruled that Paul could continue to preach his gospel of salvation without the law to the Gentiles, thereby admitting them to the faith while exempting them from the ritual circumcision. Nevertheless, Jewish Christians remained firmly bound to the full requirements of the Torah. In the missionary field, each side was expected to refrain from interference with the other." Unquote. Unsurprisingly, this timid decision fails to quell the tensions between these two parties. The ever-active Emperor Claudius also inserts himself into Parthian affairs while King Gotarzes II and the anti-Roman faction is in power. He sends in Meherdates, a Parthian prince of Arsacid lineage and the son of the former Parthian king Vonones I, who will do Rome's bidding. Despite initial support from several Parthian nobles, Meherdates' campaign falters due to internal betrayals and the lack of discipline within his forces. Gotarzes outmaneuvers him, and Meherdates is defeated and captured. Instead of executing him, Gotarzes chooses to humiliate his rival by cutting off his ears, ensuring he could never claim the throne again. Last year, we mentioned how the veteran general YUAN volunteered to take up the command against the aboriginal rebels in the Wuling Commandery. members of the Dou faction, who are looking to steal Ma Yuan's authority and prestige, wrote to Emperor Guangwu, who in turn ordered an investigation into the general's conduct, which is where we will resume the situation. However, quickly after Ma Yuan is able to bring the rebellion to an end this year, he suddenly falls ill and dies of a fever, much to the jubilation of those members of the Dou faction looking to climb the ladder of influence. With Ma Yuan dead and unable to defend his name, he is denounced by Emperor Guangwu and posthumously has his hard-earned title of Marquis stripped from him. His family members attempt to plead with the Emperor for a pardon, but they are refused. With this prominent member of the Ma faction dead and disgraced, their power wanes as that of the Dou faction is greatly increased. In past years, we have seen how crushing environmental conditions and political instability have been plaguing the Xiongnu Confederacy north of the Han border. This set the stage for a conflict between two nobles, Punu, who has been the Chanyu or leader since 46 AD, and his uncle Setuhu, who broke off with his own supporters and took the name of Bi after being proclaimed the Chanyu in his own right by his own supporters. With this split, Punu headed by the northern Xiongnu faction and Bi the southern Xiongnu. Bi allied with the Han, who in turn allowed him to settle in their territory in exchange for becoming their confederates tasked with protecting the frontier. This year, the Han court officially recognizes the division between the northern and southern Xiongnu. Emboldened by his new backers, Bi goes on the offensive against his nephew by sending his brother Mo to attack the northern faction. They capture Punu's younger brother and return with 10,000 captives as well as thousands of livestock. To make matters worse for Punu, two of his chiefs also defect to join Bi. As a result, Punu is forced to relocate north across the Gobi Desert. Elsewhere, the new king of Goguryeo is looking to make a name for himself. Moban of Goguryeo looks to expand the borders of his kingdom as those before him have done, especially the late king Dai Musin, who is his father. According to contemporary sources, Moban is not popular with his people and is known to be fierce and stubborn in character. To win glory, he sets his sights on the mighty Han dynasty, preparing his army to launch an assault on their northeastern commanderies. Once the attacks commence, he launches several assaults on the Beiping, Yuyang, Shanggu, and Taiyuan commanderies. No territory is solidly captured, but the Han look to diplomacy to end these incursions as the year ends. Now it's time for In Memoriam, where we look back on the lives of prominent figures who died in the year. Ma Yuan was born in Hanzhong and rose through the ranks due to his military skill and loyalty, eventually earning the title Fubo Jiangjun, or General Who Calms the Waves. He is best remembered for his suppression of the Trung Sisters' rebellion in 43 AD, which reasserted Chinese authority over the southern region. Ma Yuan also led successful expeditions against the Xiongnu and Qiang tribes, helping secure the empire's borders. He died of illness during a campaign in the Wuling Commandery and was posthumously denounced. We will leave this year, 49 AD, with Emperor Claudius marrying Agrippina the Younger, the First Apostolic Council in Jerusalem convening to settle a sectarian dispute, and Ma Yuan dying of illness after being betrayed by the Dou faction. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to be notified when the next iteration of the yearly histories will be released. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next year in 50 AD to continue the fascinating stories of the world of antiquity and cover its major events.